Hello guys, I'm on my way to take the JLPT N3 exam here in Kyoto, Japan, in Doshisha University's campus. I thought I would vlog more extensively about this, but the truth is I've been very busy moving out of my flat, moving out of Japan, and I've been staying in a hotel for 2 days now, and I'm taking a flight to Bulgaria tonight. So yeah, quite busy. So I don't know, I just wanted to say that I'll be taking this exam right now, the last day of my stay in Japan. I think it's very fitting to see how much I've progressed. I've checked to see if I do okay with mock exams. I have over 60% normally, which makes me think that I have big chances of passing. However, you never know. It's not super easy either. There's still some kanjis I don't know, some vocabulary I'm not familiar with. In terms of grammar, I'm generally always good, but maybe that's why I decided not to study at all. So I don't know. I'm not very confident, but I don't know. I'm really thinking about the fact that I'm leaving Japan today. So I'm not even thinking about the exam all that much. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Yeah, I guess I'll make a couple more videos on the way. I'll pass through a combini to get some pencils. You have to write in pencil, and I didn't have a pencil on me. So I really hope that there is no way that there is no pencil in a convenience store. So yeah, see you later. I'm in the subway. Bought everything I needed. 3 pencils and an eraser. And some water that I have to remove the label of. I think my train is coming. Got some stairs. I just got out of the underground and it's about 11:30, which is when the doors are supposed to open, although the test starts at 12:15 with the instructions, and the actual test starts at 12:30. I think I read somewhere that I need to have a mask, which I don't have. So I think I'll go to another convenience store. Here's one, because that would be a silly reason to get disqualified. That's one big queue that I would have skipped if I had thought of buying a mask before. I've never seen such a queue at a convenience store. So I just finished the first section, the vocabulary. I think it went alright. It wasn't especially easy, but it wasn't too hard either. I think I'll probably have more than half of them right. Otherwise, what can I say? I've never taken a JLPT exam in Japan before. I don't think there is much of a difference except the number of people, of course. I also, is the first time I actually saw someone being shown yellow card, you know, like in football, yellow card or red card. When you do something wrong, when your phone rings, when you don't stop writing when you're supposed to. I have some free time now. I'm going to have a protein bar. By the way, Doshisha University is really beautiful. Have a look. Hello again. It's been 2 days since the exam. I just want to tell you what's on my mind while I still remember as much as possible. I'm back home in Bulgaria. I just flew back last night after a 30-something hour long trip. So yeah, last thing I told you about was the first section, which was the vocabulary. which went all right. I think it was a short section, as I said. After that, there was the longest one that had all the reading and use of language or grammar. It started with some grammar questions. I really think these went all right. As for the reading, I think that went all right too. However, I did not get to the last text, which I think it's all right. The last text is like 2 pages long. It's like very long, and then there are only 2 questions after it. So in the big scheme of things, I don't think it's so important. Actually, in the last moment, I realized that I should just write something on the answers sheet, anything. And if I'm calculating correctly, I have a 1/4, no, not 1/4, like a half or 50% chance of getting at least one of them right if I write something on both of them, just anything. So I was like, I did that in the very, very last moment. I was like, wait, I really have to write something. I don't get penalized for wrong answers, so why wouldn't I? So the texts, my head is not working properly anymore, but there was something about that I saw discussed later on in forums. There was a text about a fish in front of a mirror, an experiment with a fish in front of a mirror that reacts to it being dirty, tries to clean itself. So the idea of the text is that maybe the fish can recognize itself in the mirror. And from what I saw, this text is something that many test takers found confusing. The text itself, yeah, I guess it was not easy, but I'm pretty sure the answer was that the idea of the experiment is, namely, that the fish can recognize itself in the mirror. I remember when I took the N4 back in, what was it, 2019, I guess, I was left with the impression that I didn't even get the full meaning of all the texts, yet I passed. So I do think that I'm good. Then there was a half an hour break again after the reading. I hung out with Australian girl that I met there. Actually, I made a friend, so that was pretty cool. She had been living in Japan for 15 years, so yeah, it was really nice to meet her. The last section was the listening. I could hear so well. I always worry about not being able to hear, so I cleaned my ears well the night before, put my hair well behind my ears. I could hear perfectly. At some point, I realized that I wasn't really paying attention because there are quite a lot of questions at the end where you don't see anything. You just listen, basically. You listen to the situation and you give the correct answer. Or someone says something and then you have to mark what the other person has to respond. And I found myself just thinking about other things. I'm like, wait, why am I doing this? I need to be listening attentively. Or just difficult to completely switch off, forget what you just heard in the previous conversation and just start listening anew. But I do think this went good too. So yeah, overall, I think it went well. I can't complain. And as lots of people seem to discuss just the way the exam is taken in Japan, I thought maybe saying a couple of words about that. I saw someone being shown yellow card. I think it's because they didn't stop writing when they should have. There was a red card too. Actually, Alex says, what was that, a football game or a Japanese exam? At the end, they kept us for 30 minutes or so because someone did something on their phone. They said several times, someone entered and said, don't touch your phone while you're in the room. Absolutely don't touch your phone. So my guess is that they really wanted to send the message that they're being serious and that you shouldn't touch your phone. I do think they let the person submit their work at the end because I really think they weren't doing anything on their phone. They just took it or looked at it or something. So yeah, they were very, very strict about that. Don't touch your phone. Yet I do think most people looked at their phone at least once, or checked the time while still in the room. I don't mean during the exam, I just mean while still in the room, which was forbidden too. Yet they didn't see all of this. The atmosphere was very different. It felt like the whole part of the town was full of people taking this exam. It was a big thing. Obviously, when you're in another country, it cannot be such a big thing. But in Japan, it's JLPT day, so all foreigners tend to know that, and you can really clearly see that there is something going on. So maybe my final thoughts are, I think it went good. I don't have time to talk extensively about how I've prepared right now, but I have been living in Japan. I had been living in Japan because I just left for 2 years, and taking some courses in Kyoto University and taking private lessons with my tutor from time to time, and just kind of studying on my own from time to time. And it would make perfect sense if I passed, and I do think I passed. I'm going to know around the 22nd of August or something like that. So of course I'm going to update you, maybe make a longer video. Some pieces of advice. Something that I really realized was that during the listening, there are times, like when they're reading the examples, when you have a long time to look a bit forward and read the answers and the questions that will follow. I think you can save a lot of time and stress if you do that. Just while they're reading the example and saying why it's correct and so on, do move forward a bit if you can. It helps. Okay, that's it. Off to eat some banica, Bulgarian cheese pie. Bye bye.